लाली मेरे लाल की, लाली मेरे लाल की, जित देखूं तित लाल. The light of my beloved is spread everywhere. The light of my beloved is spread everywhere. When I went searching for it, I too became part of that light. लाली मेरे लाल की, जित देखूं तित लाल. लाली देखन मैं भी हो गई लाल. I'm truly honored to be here on this very special occasion to celebrate 150th anniversary of Sri Aurobindo's birthday in this very beautiful place and invoking the idea of oneness and unity. These are not just empty words. All over the world, in every century, at every time, these words are being invoked and need to be evoked because so many forces keep us apart. And Sri Aurobindo spoke of Kabir, this great 15th century poet, in one of his essays. And I want to read you a line so beautiful, so wonderful. He says, love and ananda are the last word of being, the secret of secrets, the mystery of mysteries. There is nothing which is beyond the reach of a God lover, a lover of God, or is denied to him, for he is the favorite of the divine lover and the self of the beloved. These are Sri Aurobindo's words for Sant Kabir. Now, just to give you a little introduction, I know quite a few people know about Kabir, but just to place him in a slight historical context, so you appreciate more. Kabir lived in 15th century in North India, near Varanasi. And many people wonder, was he a Muslim? Was he a Hindu? To this day, the debate goes on. There are many people who have written books about it. And Kabir says himself, Hindu to main hu nahi, Musalman bhi nahi. I'm not a Hindu or a Muslim. He was a very marginalized person. He was a julaha, a weaver, at the edge of the society, in caste system, in caste class system, and he was, what is special about him, he was completely unlettered. He did not know how to read and write. So hundreds of dohas, couplets that are subscribed to him, and hundreds of songs that are attributed to him are not written by him. He did not write them. Fortunately, over the years, people gathered them together and have carried it forward. Now, over these 500 years, many wonderful singers in India have sung Kabir. They sing to this day. We have it here in Auroville itself. Some wonderful singers coming. I'm not a singer, so I recite his poetry. And I discovered him through Aurobindo. I discovered Kabir through Aurobindo, Sri Aurobindo. And I discovered him in Canada, in the mountains of British Columbia, some 35 years ago. And since then, it has been my passion to share with him in many parts of the world. I've shared with him at least 30 countries of the world. So I have translated Kabir into English. I call it not translation, but transcreation. And there is a reason for it. Because poetry cannot be translated. And if somebody tries to be too literal, it dies. Just to remind you that the great Indian poet, Rabindranath Tagore from Bengal, when he translated himself his great book, Gitanjali, in English, it is entirely different from the original. And it is his English translation that won him Nobel Prize, not his Bengali writings. So this is something to keep in mind, that anybody who is trying to translate or transcreate poetry into another language is always challenged by this. So today, I want to share with you some of his poetry, Kabir's poetry. He has been hailed. He wrote in the one dialect of Hindi near Varanasi. As I said, he was not an educated man. And many pundits and scholars laughed at him. How can a man like this talk of spiritual knowledge? He has not read Upanishads or Vedas. He did not read anything. So he then in turn made fun of them. So something special about Kabir, that he speaks about things all around him, about light, about water, about weaving, about pottery. And these are the things, mundane things, and he made them sacred. So that is something very special about Kabir. So I will share with you some of his couplets, dohas. In the last 2 years, something special is happening here in Auroville. Under my guidance or direction, if you like, we are translating Kabir in 10 languages, European and Asian languages. So today we'll give you a little flair of translation in Chinese and also in French. And because there are other translations in Italian and Spanish and German. So it's a big project going on, and we want to share with you some of this. So Kabir was a lover of the divine. And all his poetry in one way or the other speaks of that love. So he says, Priyatam ko patiyan likhun, jo koi hoye videsh. Priyatam ko patiyan likhun, jo koi hoye videsh. Man mein, tan mein, nainan mein, taako kaha sandesh. I write letters to my beloved as though he lived in another land. I write letters to my beloved as though he lived in another land. Oh, how I forget that he lives here, in my eyes, in my heart, receiving messages of my love at all times. Priyatam ko patiyan likhun, jo koi hoye videsh. Man mein, tan mein, nainan mein, taako kaha sandesh. And then same thought again and again. Jin pavan bhuin phiray, Ghoonde desh videsh. He says, for him I wandered all over the earth. But when I found him, my own backyard became the whole universe. Jin pavan bhuin phiray, ढूंढे देश विदेश, पिया मिलन जब होया, आंगन भया विदेश. When I found him, when the union took place, the whole world, my own backyard became the whole universe. Then Kabir always invoking to speak the truth, always invoking, going beyond the superficialities. So, piya chahe prem ras, rakha chahe man. You want to experience love, and yet you don't let your ego go. You wish to experience love, and yet you don't let your ego go. Piya chahe prem ras, rakha chahe man, ek myan mein do khadag, are dekha sunana khan. In one sheath, 2 swords. Who has ever heard of such an absurd thing? So again and again, this idea of oneness. Tu karata tu bhaya, मुझ में रही न हूँ. तू करता तू भया, मुझ में रही न हूँ. बारी फेरी बली गई, जित देखूं तित तू. When I called your name, my own ego disappeared. Now all I see is you and you and you. तू करता तू भया, मुझ में रही न हूँ. बारी फेरी बली गई, जित देखूं तित तू. This one very beautiful and often quoted. Kabir is quoted so much in North India, in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Himachal, in all Hindi-speaking areas. He's considered the greatest poet of the last 1,000 years. So he said, "Jab main tha, tab tu nahi. Jab main tha, tab tu nahi. Ab tu hai to main nahi." When my ego was there, your face was hidden from me. जब मैं था तब तू नाही, अब तू है तो मैं नाही. प्रेम गली अति सांकरी, इसमा दो ना समाई. This path of love is much too narrow. 2 cannot walk here, only one. जब मैं था तब तू नाही, अब तू है तो मैं नाही. When my ego was there, your face was hidden from me. Now that I see you. So जब मैं था तब तू नाही, अब तू है तो मैं नाही. Prema gali ati sankri. The path of love is much too narrow. 2 cannot walk here. Only one. So again, same idea again and again. He says it in simple words. As I said, he was not an educated man. He's not an educated in any sense of the word. But he's educated in spiritual wisdom, like which few people have. Mera mujh mein kuch nahi, jo kuch hai so tera. Nothing that belongs to me, everything belongs to you. मेरा मुझ में कुछ नहीं, जो कुछ है सो तेरा, तेरा तुझको सौंपते, अरे क्या लागे है मोरा. So giving it back to you, what is there? What is there for me to lose? There is I come from Punjab. We have a very wonderful story of it. Heer Ranja. Heer Ranja, the love, eternal love story. So there is a line, very beautiful line. He says, Ranja, Ranja kardi, main bhi Ranja hoi. Calling his name, I became Ranja. He says, Ranja, Ranja kardi, main bhi Ranja hoi. Saddo menu, bhido Ranja. Heer na aakho koi. Don't please call me Heer, just call me Ranja. Ranja, Ranja kardi, main bhi Ranja hoi. So you see how the divine message of unity, oneness, love permeates in everyday stories of Punjab, in Haryana, in Himachal Pradesh. And these are everyday stories, Heer Ranja, Lala Majdu, and so on. So this oneness, again the theme, say Kabira kuan ek hai, Kabira kuan ek hai, pani bharai anek. There is only one well. What we all draw water from that well. Many different kinds of vessels, but the water is the same. Kabira kuan ek hai, pani bharai anek. Kabira kuan ek hai, pani bharai anek. Bhande hi mein bhed hai, pani sab mein ek. See, only the vessels are different, but the water, the great ocean of consciousness, is the same in everyone. So Kabira kuan ek hai, pani bharai anek. Bhande hi mein bhed hai, pani sab mein ek. This one again, Kabir is now worshipped and admired and loved by everyone, by Muslims, by Sufis, by Sikhs, by Hindus, by Christians, all over the world. A few years ago, I presented Kabir in a black church in the USA. There were about 300 people, all black people, no white person. And at the end of my presentation, 3 women came at the front and they said, Professor, we feel Kabir could be our prophet. This is an incredible tribute. Indeed, he is loved and admired all over the world. The more people learn about him, the more they see the oneness. So he said these words are from Guru Granth Sahib, because Kabir is quoted in Guru Granth Sahib, great deal, in Sikh scriptures. Abli Allah Nuru Paya Kudrati ke sab bande. Abli Allah Nuru Paya Kudrati ke sab bande. Ek nur se sab jagah upja. Are kaun bhale aur kaun mande. He says, from one light all has come to be. Who's good? Who's bad? These are phantoms of your own mind. Abli Allah Nuru Paya Kudrati ke sab bande. Ek nur se sab jagah upja. Are kaun bhale aur kaun mande. So this one, again, Kabir, as I said, was haunted and harassed and sometimes tortured because he provoked a lot of people. I'll recite you some of his poems later. So he says, Kabira soi peer hai. Who is a holy man? Kabir says, who is a holy man? One who understands others' pain. He who is oblivious to others' pain, he's a kafir, he's a heathen, he's not a holy man. Kabira soi peer hai, jo jane par peer, jo par peer na janahi, so kafir be peer. So who is oblivious to others' pain, he's not a holy man. So, and again, yeh tan veh tan ek hai, ek pran dui ghat. He says, it's one breath, many different bodies, but one breath that flows in all beings. If you want to understand me, look within your own self. That is the path to knowledge. Yeh tan veh tan ek hai, ek pran dui ghat. Apne jiye se janiye, mere jiye ki baat. If you want to understand me, look within your own self. So here now, I will present to you a dance performance inspired by Kabir's song, sung by Kabir Cafe. There are many singers now in the country, wonderful singers of Kabir. And we have a Indo-Canadian Kathak dancer, Sufi dancer, Deepti Gupta from Canada. who has been a great friend and a dancer, performs in many countries of the world. So she'll present to you a dance, and I'll give you just a gist of this dance, very beautiful words. So, Mohe kahe dhunde re bande, main to tere paas mein. Where are you looking for me? I'm here, near you. I'm within you. मेरे काहे रे ढूंढो रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में. ना मैं तीर्थ में, ना मैं मूर्त में, ना मंदिर में, ना मस्जिद में, ना काबा में, ना कैलाश में. I'm not in the temples. I'm not in the mosques. I'm within you. Look within. And this is really the invocation that Kabir says again and again. That all these externalities are only a distraction from the truth. What to see within, to see the self-knowledge, to see within, that is the real search. So I invite Deepti Gupta to present you a short piece based on this song. Deepti Gupta. be a man of knowledge, you need to read only one word, and that word is love. पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया न कोई. पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया न कोई. ढाई आखर प्रेम का, पढ़े सो पंडित होए, पढ़े सो पंडित होए. So this is his message again. He says to Pandits again, कहता मैं कहता आंखन की देखी. He says, I say only what I have seen with my own eyes. But you keep quoting the books. I say he's everywhere, but you keep hiding him in the scriptures. How can our paths cross? Only a man of great daring that he was could say these things. मैं कहता आंखन की देखी. मैं कहता आंखन की देखी. तू कहता पोथी की लेखी. मैं कहता सिरझावनहारी. तू राख्यो अरुझाई रे. तेरा मेरा मिलन कैसे कहोई रे. He says, how can our paths cross? I say only what I've seen with my own eyes, but you keep hiding him in the books. I say he's everywhere, but you keep hiding him in the scriptures. How can our paths cross? So then again he says, he provoked the Pandits and the scholars a great deal. And now there are hundreds of people who have done PhDs on Kabir. Yeah, really. लिखा लिखी की है नहीं. अरे देखा देखी की बात. It's not a matter of reading and writing. It is opening your eyes and seeing. लिखा लिखी की है नहीं. अरे देखा देखी की बात. दुल्हा को दुल्हन मिली गयो. फीकी पड़ी बारात. When the bride, he says, it's not a matter of reading and writing, it's opening your eyes. When the bride is in the arms of her lover, who gives a damn about the wedding party? Yeah, so the real union is between the lover and the beloved. बाकी तो खाना खाने के लिए आते हैं. So they're just having fun. So he says, लिखा लिखी की है नहीं. अरे देखा देखी की बात. लिखा लिखी की है नहीं. देखा देखी की बात. दुल्हा को दुल्हन मिल गयो. अरे फीकी पड़ी बारात. Now this one, very beautiful again. This whole idea of consciousness and memory. And say, sapne mein sai mile. Sapne mein sai mile. He said, in the middle of night, in a dream, I saw the face of my beloved. In a dream, in the middle of night, in a dream, I saw the face of my beloved, and he woke me from my slumber, from my sleep. Now I'm so loath to open my eyes, lest it were only a dream. सपने में साईं मिले. सपने में साईं मिले. सोबत लिया जगाए. आंख ना खोलूं डर पता, कहीं सपना ना हो जाए. Say, I'm so loath to open my eyes, lest it's only a dream. So what is a dream? What is waking state? What is consciousness? What is subconscious? In a way, here is a man who was invoking us and presenting his deep wisdom 500 years ago. He said, Kabira seep samand ki, ratah pyas pyas. There is a myth in India that how is a pearl formed in the oyster? So the myth is that there is a special configuration of the stars. And under the stars, when the rain comes in the mouth of the oyster, only that becomes a pearl. So he says, I am like thirsty for that particular drop of water that will become a pearl. Even though I'm in the ocean, but I'm thirsty. Beautiful piece. Some of you, incredible. So, Kabira seep samand ki, ratay pyas pyas. So the oyster in the ocean is thirsty, waiting for that particular drop that will become a pearl. Kabira seep samand ki, ratah pyas pyas, samati tinka bari ginay, swati bund ki yaas. So all this ocean is of no use, just waiting for that particular drop that will become a pearl. So this one again, as you see many stories again, how we see a deer is wandering all over the earth, does not know where the fragrance is coming. Kasturi in the deer does not know where the fragrance is coming. He's wandering here and there. He says, we are like this, human beings. We go here to this pilgrimage and this pilgrimage. We never stop to see that the fragrance is within. Kabira, Kasturi Kundali Basai, Kasturi Kundali Basai, Brigat Hundai Banamahi, Kasturi Kundali Basai, Brigat Hundai Banamahi. ऐसे घट घट राम है दुनिया देखे नाही. He says God's presence, the divine presence is everywhere, but we don't see it and we wander all over the earth. This one is a tribute to a guru, because in the Indian tradition guru is very important. We don't know if Kabir had a guru. My own research, my own sense tells me that he probably did not have a guru. He's enlightened in a different way altogether. But this one is very beautiful. He says, Guru Kumhar Shish Kumbh hai, Guru Kumhar Shish Kumbh hai, Gadi Gadi Kadhe Khot. Guru is like a potter. A teacher is like a potter, and the student is like a pot. He beats from the outside, but he sports from the inside, so a beautiful pot can be created. Guru Kumhar Shish Kumbh hai, Gadi Gadi Kadhe Khot, Antar Hath Sahar de, Bahir Mare Chot, Bahir Mare Chot. There is another a tribute to Guru. Guru Govinda Dono Khade is my teacher and master. He's both standing here before me. To whom shall I bow first? My Guru and the master is both standing here before me. To whom shall I bow first? He says, bow for the Guru first, because it is he has opened the door to the master. Guru Gobind dono khade, kaake lagu paaye, balihari us Guru ki, jo Govind deo dikhaye, jo Govind deo dikhaye, jo Govind deo dikhaye. Now I invite Antoine to present you some pieces in French, because this French is one of the persons in Paris, a friend who is not here. She's translated some pieces of Kabir into French. We are hoping to publish these. So Antoine is reading. He's French, person living in Auroville. I requested him to read, and then he will present to us some of the pieces. So this piece is, O Kabir, the abode of my beloved is a temple of love. It is not a house of pleasure. Pride you must surrender if you yearn to enter here.
Ô Kabir, le refuge de mon bien-aimé est pur temple d'amour, guère maison de plaisir. Abandonne tout orgueil si un jour tu espères entrer là.
It says, I send letters to my beloved as though he lived far in another land. Oh, how I forget that he resides here in my eyes, in my heart, receiving messages of my love at all times.
À mon bien-aimé, des lettres j'envoie, comme si loin de moi il vivait, dans une contrée lointaine. Oh, comment puis-je oublier qu'il réside là, dans mes yeux, dans mon cœur, et que sans cesse, de lui je reçois ces éternels messages d'amour.
This one, oh friends, so drunk am I with the love of the divine, that all my ambivalence is gone forever. A potter's bowl, once baked in the fire, is not turned on the wheel again.
Ô ami, si enivré puis-je être d'amour divin, que toute mon ambivalence à jamais s'est enfuie. Une poterie, une fois offerte aux flammes, ne retourne jamais sur le tour du potier.
O seeker, anyone who has a taste of this love, is so enchanted by it that he's stricken with silence. Tell me, when you have a gem in your hand, do you go on the street shouting about it?
Ô chercheur de vérité, quiconque s'est délecté de l'amour divin, qu'un charme mystérieux le laisse transi de silence. Dis-moi, si dans ta main un trésor tu tiens, iras-tu par les chemins le crier sur tous les toits?
With thy light, O my beloved, come into my eyes. I shall adore you forever. To hold you as my own, I shall lower my eyelids, so you would look at none other, and I shall behold only you.
Par ta lumière, ô divin bien-aimé, éblouis-moi. Par ta sublime vision, puissé-je t'adorer toujours, t'enlacer et sentir dans mon cœur ton éternelle présence. Deviens mon unique amour, et par toi seulement je vivrai.
When I was enwrapped in myself, oh my beloved, your face was hidden from me. Now that I see you, I am no more I. I know now that the path of love is much too narrow. Two cannot walk here, only one.
Prisonnier de moi-même, ô mon bien-aimé, de mon âme tu étais caché. Témoin désormais de ta présence, je n'ai plus de moi. Je le sais maintenant, le chemin de l'amour est bien trop étroit. Deux ne peuvent l'emprunter. Pour un seul, il est tracé.
Worship, ritual, chanting, fasting, all these, O seeker, are a child's play. Remember, unless you're imbued with his love, his face would remain forever hidden from you.
Vénération, prière, chant, jeûne. Écoute, toi qui cherches. Sache que tous ces rites sont jeux d'enfants. Souviens-toi, à moins que chacune de tes cellules ne s'éveille à l'amour divin, jamais le suprême en toi ne vibrera.
At all times, all around me, oh my beloved, I see your face. Why should I close my eyes to anything when your presence permeates everywhere?
De tout temps, partout, en tout, ce n'est que toi, amour suprême. Pourquoi devrais-je fermer mon regard sur le monde alors que ta présence imprègne chaque particule de vie?
In search of my beloved, oh dear friends, I wandered all over the earth, in far and distant lands. But now, on meeting with him, my own courtyard became the whole universe.
À la recherche de mon bien-aimé, mes doux amis, sachez que j'ai parcouru la terre entière, voyageant si loin dans des contrées perdues. Dès lors, l'ayant rencontré, mon humble demeure est devenue l'univers entier.
This last one here. For eons, you have been moving the beads in your hand, yet nothing has moved in your heart. For eons, you have been moving the beads in your hand, yet nothing has moved in your heart. Oh, my friends, leave aside the beads. Open your hands. Let the heart turn.
Depuis la nuit des temps, tu égrènes ton chapelet. Et pourtant, rien dans ton cœur n'a encore vibré. Ô tendre ami, abandonne ces perles, ouvre tes mains et laisse parler ton cœur.
Thank you, God. Thank you. This last piece, let me tell you in the original, it's very beautiful. And it's one of the most beautifully written, playful piece ever written in any language, I feel. And there is a word, 2 words here, being used 5 times with different meaning. The word is manka. Manka means a part of rosary, a bead in a rosary. It also means something belonging to the heart. So he plays with this 5 times, you will hear. And then the second word is fair, which means moving the beads. And it also means wrinkle, something crooked. So he plays with this again 5 times. So it's one of the most classical, beautiful piece ever written in any poetry. Manaka pherat yug bhaya. Manaka pherat yug bhaya. Gaya na manaka pher. Manaka pherat yug bhaya. Gaya na manaka pher. Karka manaka chandike. Are manaka pher. For years you've been moving the beads in your hand, yet nothing has moved in your heart. Oh, my friends, leave aside the beads. Open your hands. Let the heart turn. Manaka pherat yug bhaya. Gayana manaka pher. Karka manaka chandike. Are manaka pher. So I wish some of you probably understand Hindi. It's what beautiful work. Beautiful work. So Kabir, as I said, people have marginalized, a low caste, an untouchable, a julaha, a weaver. So he was all treated like this. So he says, Jat na pucho sadhu ki. He said, don't ask the caste of the person. You say, this is trivial. Jat na pucho sadhu ki, puch lijiye gyan. Say, don't ask the caste of the man of wisdom. Ask how much wisdom does he have. Jatna pucho sadhu ki, puch lijiye gyan. Are mol karo talwar ka, pada rehne do myan. Say, see how sharp the sword is. Leave aside the sheath. What good is that? See how sharp the sword is. So this one here, some of you probably know Varanasi. Varanasi is full of Pandits and Brahmins and so on. And people, it's a center of Hinduism and some orthodoxy. So he made fun. So people, in Varanasi, in many places, they shave their heads to look holy, or grow beard and look holy. So he made fun of them. He says, Munda mundai hari milai, to sab koi le mundai. If by shaving your head you could see the face of God, how easy it would be. If by shaving your head you could see the face of God, how easy it would be. Look at a sheep, how often it is shorn, and how far from heaven it is. Munda mundai hari milai, to sab koi le mundai. Munda mundai hari milai, to sab koi le mundai. Bar bar ke mundte, are bhed na bekunt jaye, bhed na bekunt jaye. And then he would make fun of the Muslims. He would say, Kankar pathar jodi ke, masjid lahi chunaye. Look at them. He said, look at them. They put stones and bricks together and made into a big mosque. And there on top of the mosque, the mullah shouts the name of God. Do you think God is deaf? Say, Kankar pathar jodi ke, masjid lahi chunaye. Kankar pathar jodi ke, masjid lahi chunaye. Ta chadiya mullah bangde, kya behra hua khudaye, kya behra hua, is God deaf? Why you have to shout? So you can see how he got himself into big trouble. So here, there are many pieces that we are going to soon. There are 3 pieces I want to recite, very beautiful, because he refers to water and light all the time. He says, Heret, Heret, He Sakhi. Herat, herat, he sakhi, raha Kabir herai. I was wandering all over the world looking for him, but to no avail. Why? Because when a drop becomes part of the ocean, who can say what is what? And then the second one, he says, I was looking for him everywhere, but to no avail. Why? Because when the ocean becomes part of the drop, who can say what is what? And the third time he says, when a drop becomes part of the ocean, everybody understands. But how the ocean becomes part of the drop, only a rare man can comprehend. My next book is about Kabir. It's called Ocean in a Drop. So here, 3 pieces. Very good. Herat, herat, he sakhi, raha Kabir herai. Herat, herat, he sakhi, raha Kabir herai. Boond samani samad mein, ab kat heri jai, ab kat heri jai. The second one, herat, herat, he sakhi, raha Kabir herai. Samad samana boond mein, ab kat hera jai. Boond samana samad mein, jana hai sab koi. How a drop becomes part of the ocean, that is easy to understand. Boond samana samad mein, are jana hai sab koi. Samad samana boond mein, bujhe birla koi. How the ocean is contained in a drop, that only a rare man can comprehend. So these are some of the most beautiful pieces that I want to invite Anandi to present to you in Chinese. Anandi is an incredible poet, young poet, starting writing, but she discovered Kabir with me about 3 years ago and was very drawn to it. And now she has translated 150 of Kabir's dohas. And we are hoping to go to China together to present Kabir. These 2 great nations of Asia, the 2 most ancient civilizations. And I'm hoping that we will do it together.
So I had the sense of poetry in my childhood. And about 2-3 years ago, because the world was slowing down and also accelerating, I started to read poetry every day while walking in the forest. So the sense of poetry came back, very much alive every day now. And I translated Kabir poems, all of them in your book, and I have been writing almost daily. It's coming from inspirations in daily life in Auroville. And actually, before we recite Kabir poems, there is a little poem that came to me. So it's not exactly my poem, but it is a poetic prayer. It is a mantra in a way for Auroville and for the world. So I would like to say this first. May I?
Please, absolutely.
Auroville, all reveals, all heals, all rejoins, all rejoices. Auroville, all reveals, all heals, all rejoins, all rejoices. Auroville, Auroville, all reveals, all heals, all rejoins, all rejoices. It takes a process, and we are part of it.
Thank you.
We go on.
Thank you so much. She is a great source of inspiration for me as well, I must say. Incredible. This poem, I'll say it in English and she'll say it in Chinese. This original, the English translation is the pupil is in the eye. As the pupil is in the eye, so too, O seeker, the beloved resides within. Yet in our folly, we wander all over the earth, searching for him.
求道者，瞳孔在眼中，挚爱在心中。然而愚蠢的我们，走遍世界，去找寻它。
one here. In search of my beloved, oh dear friends, I wandered all over the earth, in far and distant lands. But now, on meeting with him, my own courtyard became the whole universe.
哦，亲爱的朋友，为了找寻我的挚爱，我游走于遥远他乡，整个世界。但当我与他相会，我自家的院子成了整个宇宙。
Anandi tells me that there's a great tradition of writing couplets in Chinese language. So it's wonderful to know that. Here, next one is wherever my eyes turn, I see the light of my beloved. Oh, dear friends, when I reached out to touch it, I too became part of that light.
我目光所及之处，皆是我挚爱的光。哦，亲爱的朋友，当我伸手去触碰它时，我也成了那光的一部分。
It's all Chinese to me.
Correct.
So, something is baked only when it is engulfed in the fire, not by shouting fire, fire. Oh, dear friends, listen until one knows what is real and what is an illusion. What good is it chanting the name of God?
只有经受过烈火的考验，才算考好了，而不是大喊“火，火，着火了”。哦，亲爱的朋友，请听着。当一个人还不知道什么是真，什么是幻，念诵神的名字又有何意？
Okay, this is the last one. Not by cleverness or intellectual gymnastics does one see to the face of the blood. Oh, dear friend, this is the secret of all secrets. Only he who yearns for his love relentlessly is sought by him for his embrace.
要看见挚爱的面容，不是凭小聪明或头脑的推理。啊，亲爱的朋友，这是所有秘密的秘密。只有一心渴求他的爱的人，才会被他相中，拥入他的怀抱。
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, I have discovered that quite a few books on Kabir poems have been published already in Chinese, and all of Tagore's poems have been translated and published in Chinese many decades ago, and he is very much well read and loved.
I'm going to just recite two more, and then if somebody has any questions or observations, I'll be more than happy to respond. The two pieces, very beautiful, that are Kabira khada bazaar mein, Kabira khada bazaar mein, liye lukate haath, jo ghar jane apna, wahi chalaye hamare saath. Kabir stands on the crossroads of life. Kabir stands on the crossroads of life with a beacon of light in his hand. Only he who's ready to set his house on fire can dare to follow me. The question is, what kind of house? Only he who dares to set his house on fire can dare to follow me. And this one, very beautiful, often quoted. Hari hai retu, hari hai khandu ret mahi. Hari hai khandu reit mahi, hathi chuni na jaye. God's presence is like grains of sugar in a pile of sand. God's presence is like grains of sugar in a pile of sand. An elephant cannot pick them, but a little ant knows the way. Truth, my friends, is very subtle. Be humble to seek it. Hari hai khandu reit mahi, hath chuni na jaye. Kahe Kabir, Guru bhali bujhai, chinti hoi ke khai, chinti hoi ke khai, chinti hoi ke khai. So thank you so much. But otherwise, I thank everyone, and my flute player, the wonderful Sarthak and Putran, and so wonderful. So many people have contributed to make it possible. Geeta, really, all these things take a lot of coordination and we much beholden to us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your beautiful poetry recitals. We are blessed to have this recital on this very beautiful occasion. Now, we would like to give them a token of appreciation on behalf of Auroville. We have Thiru Sehdev ji, who did the beautiful recitals today. And our beautiful dancer of today, Deepthi ji. And on the flutes, the amazing, beautiful work, we have Sartak. And for the French recitals, we have Antoine. And Anandi for Chinese recitals, which was very beautiful as well. And thank you everyone for taking time and coming.